us all in Nigeria, how are you dealing with inflation and dollar rising and falling and all the problems that just comes from doing business in Nigeria?
You deal with it. Look, and Nigerians are very resilient. Smiling, laughing, and watching this video or whatever we're doing, your businesses can do the same. As the tides come, you ride it out. Figure it out. I mean, there's things that you plug into your business to keep you stronger. That way, when the tides come, you don't fall. Mind is like an elastic, and it's like a rubber band. The more you have to take on, the more it stretches. And then if you now remove something, your capacity will increase. God doesn't give you more that you can handle. So they say. So your capacity just keeps increasing at certain levels that when you get there, you discover you're kind of the only one here. You have to solve your own.
Hello everyone, welcome to the very first episode of GAS Docuseries. My name is Victor Mesona, founder of Growth Paddy and Chief Growth Engineer. When companies want to scale, I'm the one to call. So what is GAS Docuseries? This is an initiative of Growth Africa Summit. The Growth Africa Summit is happening this year on the 25th of October. You will see all the details on your screen or in the caption. But today, I'm not the focus. I have someone very, very amazing with me. I'm here with Olamidun Ogundoyin, founder of Suya Bistro, an amazing, amazing woman. I've been a fan for a long time. Please don't tell her I said that. So I'll just pass it over to Olamidun to introduce herself, and then we will get started. Hi,
Thank you,
Olamidun.
Victory. Thanks for having me. Such a pleasure, and kudos to you on all the work that you're doing with Growth Paddy. Well done. Thanks for having me. Like you've introduced me, I'm Olamidun Ogundoyin and the founder of Suya Bistro. And I'm sure you're going to dig in and uncover, what it really means
I have
to
my
be that.
investigator
So thanks for having
hat.
me.
Right. So just to set the tone, the GAS Docuseries will be bringing on amazing founders and experienced growth operators in the African ecosystem. And today we're starting with Olamidun. Olamidun has an amazing journey, and I'm sure you can't wait to hear all about it. But before we start, I have some icebreaker questions that she probably was not expecting. So the way we're going to play this, I'm just going to give you two sets of words. And then without thinking, you just answer. Just pick one.
Okay.
Do you get it?
I should pick one out of the two.
Exactly. So for instance, tea or coffee.
Okay, easy.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right. So, this is an interesting one. Burgers or shawarma?
Oof. Shawarma. Spicy.
Okay. Cooking or order in?
Order, I beg.
Nobody has time for stress. Dogs or cats?
Dogs. I'm a dog lover.
I wasn't expecting that. Why did I think you're a cat person?
Ew, no.
Books or movies?
Oof, depends. Let me just be honest. Movies, but I wish I was more of a book person. I had a phase in my life where I was more books, but that was like maybe up until I was a teenager. Since then, I'm just kind of quick and easy gratification.
Right.
Yeah. But I have my book moments.
Okay.
Yeah.
More like self-care, self-indulgence.
Yeah, you just need to just quiet the noise and just really indulge in something on your own. Yeah.
I get it. Okay, just a couple more. Jollof rice or fried rice?
Jollof, smoky.
Nigerians will not disappoint. Instagram or LinkedIn?
Why are you setting me up? The Olamidun I'm supposed to be is a LinkedIn person, but behind closed doors, I'm an Instagram person. So Instagram.
Okay, great. So that's it for our icebreaker. We're going to start off with just trying to know you as a person, as Olamidun, a bit more, and then we will go into like Suya Bistro, why, what, how, and all of that. So tell us about you, like your background. Where did your career begin? Like, just give us.
Where did it begin? I mean, my very first job was probably like 14. Yeah, so I grew up in North Carolina, in the US, and there's more of a culture of working as early as you can. There's a culture of doing chores. There's a culture of doing very entry-level jobs while you're in high school. And so my first job was working in my neighborhood community. I was basically like cleaning the pools, testing it out. So I'll walk from my house down to the pool like maybe 3 times a week, They were paying me, I think, maybe like $8 an hour. And the work was literally 1 hour, 3 times a week. But me getting that extra $32 a week, that was my money that I earned. I think it incited something in me, and it would with
Any young
any young
person.
mind, yeah.
Mm.
Because it's something that's your own, it's something that you worked for, and you're rewarded for it directly. So that was my very first job. My second job was in a fast food restaurant. It's called Firehouse Subs. Amazing sandwiches. In fact, I think it even informed a lot of what I do at Sooyah Bistro now. I would have never thought. But I was doing an internship in high school that required us to do like a work study program. So we're in a special entrepreneurship class, and it required us to actually go out and get jobs as well. So that was the job that I landed at the time. So yeah, that's where my career really started. Now my real career, I would say, as an adult, started right after I graduated college. So literally the day after I graduated from University of North Carolina, I moved to Nigeria. I just, on a whim, I was like, you know what, Nigeria is where I want to be. Luckily, my parents were here. So it wasn't such a difficult transition. So literally the next day after graduation, I was on a flight coming to Lagos. I set up a performing arts school. At the time, I was living in Abuja. I was doing NYC.
Wow.
I always had the dream to do a performing arts school. I had a knack. I used to dance. I used to be really into instruments and stuff. And I wanted to give children that opportunity to channel all their extra energy into something positive. Yeah, build your talent, and something that you enjoy doing. So we created that space at the time in Abuja. So that was my very first business.
Is that
As an
still
adult, let me say my very first business as an adult, because I had some other failures as a child.
You're full of the story. It's curious. Is that performing arts school still in existence?
It's not. Now it's classified as one of the ones that failed, but but failure is a part of growth. It's a part of growth, and I wouldn't even say it's a failure, because it's something that I think it was earlier than its time, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Time.
It is a great idea. It's a great business. I personally just wasn't ready for it at the time. And I also think the industry, the market, the environment just wasn't quite ready for it at the time. So it's still something that, into the future, I do want to reignite. But at the time, it was a great success. We touched many schools, we touched many children. We did a lot, even with corporate organizations and sponsorships and stuff. So it was good. So that was the first thing I did when I moved back. After a while, I decided that I wanted to go back to school, because I wanted to refresh my thinking, my ideas, my methodology. Like, I just wanted to be around like minds, and I just school is a great place to be, honestly, because sometimes you just get lost in the day to day, and you think what you're doing is good, but there's so much more out there. So sometimes you have to take a break from what you think you are doing in your little bubble, and go back and go and hear from other people, and go and be filled. Let your cup be filled.
I hear you.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, I went back to school, did my MBA, went into consulting. I'm now giving you the fast track into Sooyah Bistro. Went into consulting, went into education. That's where we originally met, when I was doing education, higher ed, moved back to Nigeria with the American University, Nexford. So built Nexford from the ground up in the market. Yeah. And at the time when I moved back and was doing Nexford, that's when Sooyah Bistro was born. So it started off like a side hustle. It was just merely an idea. Like, okay, what can we do with Sooyah? Everybody knows what Sooyah is. Everybody eats Sooyah. But it's never really been innovated. It's been the same mold kind of thing, corner side, wrapped up in newspaper. Why isn't anyone doing something different? So it just was born out of an idea, and an opportunity came for me to use a space. It was even a free space outside of a supermarket, popular supermarket. And that's where the idea for Sooyah Bistro was born, and it started there.
It's such an amazing story. Maybe like a follow-up. Did you always imagine that you become a founder, like when you were little or going through school? Did you always think that you do?
I think so. To be honest. I was one of those kids that just had big dreams, like bigger than the shoes I was wearing, like just bigger than anything else that was around me. So yeah, I've always felt like, oh, I want to do something major. I didn't know exactly what it was, but I always wanted to run my business.
Okay, so I know you touched a bit on this already, but was there like a particular thing that happened that just defined that experience for you? It's like, I need to do this Suya Bistro thing big time. Like that shift from it's just an idea, a side hustle to wait, there's something here. Let's really go into it. Did something happen? Was there a moment, light bulb?
I'll say there were two moments. There have been several moments, but there's two that I outline. I think with the ease of how it started, or the miraculous way it was born, like starting with that, Suya Bistro, I never put any money into it. Like from the onset, I didn't put any money aside from money that we bought stock with on the very first day that we opened. And that wasn't more than like 20,000 naira at the time. So then 1 kg of beef was like 1,200. We'll cut it up into 7 sticks of suya, and you're selling each stick of suya for 500 naira. Do the math, right?
Yeah.
So I wasn't paying rent at the time because the space was literally just outside of a supermarket. We just set up a tent. I brought a grill that I borrowed. I, brought in a Suya man. At the time, you could pay them daily just to see, okay, is this business even going to sell? So the ease at which we were able to begin, and for every profit that we were making, even just as we were getting revenue from selling outside, we will go back inside the supermarket
And buy
buy
more.
more. So you sell your suya outside for, I don't know, 10,000 naira. You go back in, okay, what do we need to replenish? We need to replenish cabbage, onion. We need a little bit more beef and a little bit more chicken. And then you come back outside. It was literally a lemonade stand. It wasn't anything more than that.
Wow.
So we will go back into the supermarket maybe 3-4 times in one day.
Wow.
As we're running out outside, we're going back inside to buy more. And that's literally how the business grew itself. So I think that realization, like, okay, this is a business that basically bootstrapped, running on nothing and is running itself. Like it had its own spirit.
Yeah.
The business had its own.
It already had a fan
It made its own
base.
way. Yeah. I mean, you're selling suya
Suya.
outside of a popular supermarket.
It
Go
already
figure.
had
Like
a
people
fan
are coming
base.
in and out all the time, and there's suya right outside. People know what suya is. Immediately they smell it. They're like, okay,
Oh, let me
what are
just
people
get
selling? Oh yeah, give me 2 sticks. Give me 4 sticks, and that's just what it was. And if the suya is good, they'll come back again. So it was simple. So I think that realization was the first one. I was like, okay, this could be something big. If we've discovered a model where you are leveraging existing traffic, you are selling a popular food that everybody already knows and recognizes and will generally buy, and it's your costs are low. It's generally cheap. It doesn't require major logistics or major equipment or anything like that. So this is a model that we can then amplify. We can replicate it in multiple locations. That was the first realization. The second one, at the time, we had 2 locations at this point, and the second location was very close to Banky W's office. So he
I've
would
always wondered about that story.
Yeah, the second location is just directly opposite ShopRite in Oniru. Banky's office is along that street, and so he would order from Suya Bistro like at least maybe 2-3 times a week. And he would order for his entire office. At the time, he was even campaigning. So sometimes when they're doing their rallies and he has his volunteers and stuff, he will order bulk. So after a while, I'm like, who is this person that is always ordering? So we made a connection. At a point, he started ordering through me with bulk orders and something. He told me one day, like, Olamidun, look, you have a great business. You have a fantastic business. This is the best burger I've ever had. It's so simple, but it's so good. Like, he was our biggest fan. And after the first campaign that he did, he called me and was like, look, I think this is the next big thing. Don't take it lightly. It might be your little baby. I mean, obviously, I had 2 other jobs at the time, full-time jobs. Suya Bistro was my little thing that I was doing on the side. I didn't want people to know I owned it because it just didn't match. Like, okay, she's doing education, she's doing performing arts, and then she owns a Suya shop that looks like this. Like, I didn't want to be associated with it. So he came on and he was like, look, don't look at this business as if it's just something on the side. This business will pick up legs. We'll pick up, what's the term? We'll pick up and grow. It will move on its own. Yeah. And he was like, look, I want to be part of it. I want to be a part of it. Let's make this the next biggest thing. And he did. As soon as Banky came on, Suya Bistro blew. Suya Bistro, and I was like, maybe people should know I'm part of it.
Yeah. Let me, sorry to cut you there. I think that the first Suya Bistro ad I saw was Bankies, and he said
Mhm.
this whole I bought. How did he even say the ad? It was like, I ate something so good, like burger so good that I bought into the business.
Look at that.
Like I remember. And
Yes.
maybe that was before I met you. I don't even remember. But
Probably, yeah.
I remember that ad. I was like, but everyone thought it was like Banky's thing, but I knew
Yes.
it wasn't, because I remember that ad where he said he bought into the business. So
Yes.
obviously someone had started it, but it was kind of like the early phase that people could.
Yes. No, the Banky phase was.
It was great.
It was amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
Banky is larger than life, incredible platform, incredible persona.
Yeah.
And so him being associated with us as not just someone that loves us or was endorsing the brand, but as an owner, a partner, you know, that did something. It just took it to the next level. It took it to the next. And Banky was a fantastic partner. Like, he's so amazing to work with. The Banky you see, the one that is a great husband, that is a, you know, loves the Lord, and that's the real him. It really is, and it does fantastic things. He did fantastic things for Sooyah.
Amazing. Wow. This just, I wouldn't have heard this just if it was not gas. So it's so great. Okay, so my next question was, I know you already spoke to, you know, it was like an easy business model, but what were like as you started to want to scale, to take it to the next level, what were the challenges that you decided to see early on? I mean, then and now, I'm sure different challenges, but like the very first set of challenges that you decided to observe, you know, just trying to then push this thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's several, obviously, but one that I don't think I was expecting was the scientific research you need to do when it comes to Sooyah. I was not expecting it.
I'm not expecting
I was not expecting it whatsoever. Because see how we started. Oh, Sooyah, buy the Sooyah, sell the Sooyah, finish. When it came to expanding, it's a whole nother level. So by the time we had 4 or 5 branches, we're like, we can't be procuring directly for each branch. Each branch can't be going to the market on their own. Like, we have to centralize. We have to have a central supply chain. So what that means is we're no longer buying beef fresh. We're not buying it and selling it immediately. There's certain things that we need to do for quality control, for storage management, for logistics, for supply chain, for procurement. There's certain
elements. All those ones started coming in.
And beef is a tricky thing, especially in Nigeria. So now I'm entering the beef market, trying to understand what we do with our cows, where they're coming from, how they're slaughtered, how they're drained, how the beef gets. It's a whole nother world. But
I just wanted to sell Suya. I didn't sign up for this.
And the funny thing is, to date, I don't know if anybody else has faced that challenge that we've had to face and solve ourselves. Why? Because I don't know who else, I don't know what other restaurant is doing Suya the way we're doing it in bulk and supplying it to multiple outlets from the same central quality location. Does that make sense? So I know Booker Hut has several locations. I don't think they have as many as we do. In fact, I sat with the CEO the other day. We were trading notes. I was like, there must have been things that only you and I, because who else is doing Suya in Nigeria at this volume? At this level, you know, with multiple locations the way that we're doing. I don't know. And so it's a challenge that you then discover when you're trying to grow, when you're trying to expand. There's certain challenges that you discover that may have never been discovered before.
Not even prepared.
And there's no, you can't go on Google and Google it because it doesn't exist. The information is ChatGPT don't know. Maybe ChatGPT, there's nothing ChatGPT doesn't know. So maybe Mr. Chat will help. But yeah, so there's certain things, certain levels that when you get there, you discover you're kind of the only one here and you have to solve your own issue.
You have to figure out.
You have to figure it out. That's when you start doing your own primary research and all of that. So yeah, that was one of the biggest challenges we faced. And we had to figure it out.
Okay, so sensitive, maybe not so sensitive, but like a real question that probably on the mind of our viewers. So when you decided you wanted to scale, how did you get the money to scale? Obviously, at some point, you needed to then put money into it. Was it like personal money? Did you get investors? How did you fund?
How do you guys think I had to put money into this? Well, let me be very honest. I wasn't getting money from Sooyah Bistro. I wasn't paying myself.
Okay.
So that in itself is an investment into the business. Because for Sooyah Bistro, for any entity, for a company to be able to hire someone of a certain level, right, you need to pay a certain amount of money. right? You pay market rates for that person's salary.
Absolutely.
So in a way, I was investing
Your time, your
my time, my talents, my experience into the, and I remember I was doing other jobs.
Yeah.
So I was working for university. I had another business. So I wasn't worried about Suya Bistro
Revenues,
paying
yeah.
me. Right. I wasn't worried about collecting money for the business. And I wasn't for like 5-6 years. Let me be very honest with you. So I was just focusing all our retained earnings back into the business. Every profit was going right back into the business, back into the business, back into the business. So when you ask the question, when people ask me the question about when did I start investing, have I collected investor money? Have I gotten loans? I'm not saying this is a good way to run a business, but this is what worked for me.
Yeah.
And the business literally grew itself. And no loans, no debt, no investors. It grew itself. But if you now look at it technically, you know, the owner wasn't collecting anything. And this is probably rare. For a lot of startups, you can't live 6 years without collecting anything from your business. And the kind of model that we have, low cost, low startup. I don't tie up money in rents. You know, when we're paying rent at the time.
Fancy cabins outside.
Yeah, I mean, you pay at the time. Now things are a bit trickier, but at the time, you're renting bare lands, underutilized space, so the rates are very low because they won't have been making money from that space anyway. So I mean, at the time, maybe we're paying like some of our rents would be like 150K a month, and some landlords will be letting us pay a monthly, quarterly. So if your revenue is decent and your costs are low, then every profit that you're making, less money on operational costs and all that, you put your profits back into growing the next one. And remember, low cost to start up, low startup costs. To set up a new branch doesn't really cost us much, right? So the turnover
was more than your expenditure, so it was very organic.
Exactly. And the payback period for each branch is low. So if I set up a new branch, within 4 months, I have my payback period. I can now focus on setting up another one if I wish. So I would say our biggest limitation wasn't even funding, but it was timing, quality control, people, process, technology, all of that put together.
That's probably like very, very different roadmap from a lot of startups, but very unique and interesting. Okay, so let me ask another question. This one is, how does your business run across different locations now? So now that you have 12, how many locations are we?
We've opened 12, we're operating 10. 2 were closed because of right of way.
Okay.
Yeah, landmark.
Okay. Okay, so now 10 locations, right? How do you manage this chain? It's fast becoming like a chain. So how do you manage like quality control in each branch, ensuring that experience is uniform across, you know, the taste? Because this is this Suya guy that is making it, another Suya person making it in Surulere, different from making it in Lekki. Like, how do you manage that whole uniform thing, from the production to like the customer experience, just having everything on brand?
Yeah, a lot goes into it, as you can imagine. We centralize a lot of our processes. So we have a strong quality control team. We have strong trainings that we do, just continuous trainings. We never stop training. And then all our products are centralized, so they can only come from a centralized location that has been, checked off in terms of quality, size, consistency, all of those things. So all the ingredients, all the raw materials that are going to the branches are coming from a place that have already been checked. And then we add on the levels of training, we add on the levels of reinforcement. I think one thing that helps us is being able to communicate and have real-time data at our fingertips. So if I want to know what's going on in any branch right now, I can check their sales on my phone. Live sales, I can check their camera on my phone live. I can reach out to them on a phone. I can send a message on WhatsApp to a group chat for that brand, So being able to communicate directly, limiting a lot of bureaucracy, limiting a lot of heavy and dense processes, just doing things and getting it done, and doing it quick, fast, and being able to
Stay
communicate.
nimble. I think I saw an Instagram post of yours that spoke to that recently. I don't know. It's like, oh, you don't want to lose. Is it Instagram or WhatsApp? I'm not sure. Like, as you grow, you don't want to lose your the culture of just being able to do things very fast and like eliminate bureaucracy, like send an email to the
It kills businesses.
like talk to the team
Victory.
leader who talks to the line manager who talks to the
Look,
superior.
that's the fastest way to
I
kill
know.
a business. And that one is very sensitive for me because as an entrepreneur, especially in this parts of the world, in this environment, you look at a lot of other businesses that have come before you and you start to wonder how many of these businesses that were Nigerian, indigenous businesses owned by Nigerians that survived without the founder. How many? There have been businesses for decades, centuries, some of the ones that we can name, and but where are they today without the founder? So if the founder wasn't in the picture, the entrepreneur, the founding entrepreneur that has so much passion for that business, that love that business and would hold that business together and see all the details that the person needed to see to make. If that person was no longer there, can the business stand on its own? So when you start thinking about that, like, okay, I'm building this thing that I wanted to stand the test of time, right? What do I need to do as a founder now to ensure that even when I'm not working on this business anymore, that it can sustain? What I've realized, I don't know the perfect answer, but what I've realized is I need to build other entrepreneurs. So that's my culture. My culture is, how do I build other entrepreneurs within this business that even when this entrepreneur, which is me, is no longer there, there's still other entrepreneurs that care about this business just as much as I did. And they are passing on that culture to the next ones and the next one. So my branch managers are not just branch managers. I tell you, you own the branch. You're a mini CEO. That is your branch. Anything going on in that branch is your concern. Anything that's great about that branch, you're being rewarded for it. Anything that's not so great about that branch, you have to bear the accountability for it, And so the kinds of people that we hire, the kinds of people that we bring on are very entrepreneurial, and then we give them the space to be entrepreneurial so they can keep passing on that skill, that talent, that culture to the next people.
Yeah. There's so much I want to say about that, but I'm like, I need to look at these questions and time. Like, that's such a light bulb moment, like building entrepreneurs within the organization. So great. So one that touches us all in Nigeria, how are you dealing with inflation and dollar rising and falling and all the problems that just comes from doing business in Nigeria?
You have to have tough skin. I don't know. You gotta get tough skin. Don't look at me the way you're looking at me. Oh, for you, so somebody to run this kind of business, you gotta be tough.
Of course.
You gotta be tough in this kind of environment. You deal with it. Look, and Nigerians are very resilient. We are resilient people. So if we're all sitting here smiling, laughing, and watching this video or whatever we're doing, your businesses can do the same. So as the tides come, you ride it out. You figure it out and you move. Yeah, you figure it out. I mean, there's things that you plug into your business to keep you stronger. That way, when the tides come, you don't fall. Like for us, we don't really import anything, so we're not, we don't fluctuate with the FX. All our goods, all our products, everything is locally sourced, all Naira purchases. Yeah, so I think that's one thing that we've plugged in, trying to keep costs as low as possible where we can. Like you said, just being nimble, So when tides do come, your business can still, stand the test.
So has there been like a really challenging moment in like the journey of Suya Bistro, especially maybe like after the first 4-5 years? Has there been like a moment where you're like, I'm not doing again?
Several.
What happened?
I've already had one this morning. I don't know.
What happened?
No, I mean, there's always moments. Always. I mean, December last year, how do you start? December last year, I had like one burnt down. One was Okwebi branch is right on Okwebi Road in Ikeja. I don't know if you're familiar, but there's a major road project going on there, So that branch was basically hijacked. And this was like 2 days apart. So that was a really challenging moment for me because we were trying to grow. I just opened another branch and I'm feeling, okay, we're at X numbers. And then boop, 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 another 2 branches just falling off the map. And then you just have to wake up and you push. So the Ikeja branch, we figured out how to reposition it so it's out of the space. And the other branch, we rebuilt it and we opened it back up. You just keep moving.
Mm.
2 months ago, my Admiralty branch too, same kind of issue.
Yeah.
Okay, who do we call? Who do we figure out what to boom, boom, boom. You figure it out and you move. So tough skin, resilient. Don't be down for too long. You have the days that you'll be down. You would most definitely have the days. Yeah, but you pray
Yeah.
and you keep it moving.
You just keep it moving.
Just keep it moving.
I don't know what to tell you people. Just keep it moving.
Just keep it moving. As long as you're waking up and you're thinking and doing something, that's enough.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Okay. So, founder life balance. How are you doing it? Me, I just sit on your Instagram sometimes and I'm like, how is she doing it? Like, how are you doing it? Wife, mother, founder.
Yeah.
I don't know, great friend. And you still have time for all those trips to be peppering us. How are you
It's not
doing
to pepper you. It's for my
I'm
peace of
joking.
mind. If I don't do the trips, I won't be
You
okay.
cry. You come back and be like, I'm not doing this. But yeah, like on a serious, like how do you balance? Because that's like a very tough conversation. In fact, it's I don't even want to go into the whole it's harder to be a woman in business.
Yeah.
I don't launch into that topic, but just being all the things that you are in your family space for your kids, for your husband, who I know has now a new not new but like a recent political career, and you're supporting that and still like driving Suya Bistro.
Yeah.
How you do it?
God, honestly, I don't want to sound cliche.
Yeah.
But it really is God for me. Me personally, it's God, because I've had some really challenging periods, especially this year, where I look to my left, I look to my right, and I don't know how to handle something. I don't know where to turn.
Yeah.
Right, and it's only God that keeps me centered. That's my own magic potion. That's what I've discovered. I'm not trying to be here being super religious or anything, because I don't have that history of being extremely religious, but it's something that I've discovered is my own is my own secret potion. Is I can't do anything without him. I am a wife to the House of Assembly Speaker of Oyo State. He's been speaker. This is second time being speaker. He's been a House of Assembly member for the third term now. That comes with certain responsibilities for me. I shuttle between Ibadan and Lagos. In Ibadan, I have roles and responsibilities because of the position that my husband is in. I have to handle that. I can't just, go.
Yeah.
And, of course, as you know, founder of Sooyah Bistro and what that comes with, working on the business every day. And I'm a mother for 2 boys, 2 little baby boys.
2 amazing boys.
2 boys. And that
growing
my
up so
entire heart.
fast.
I know, right? When they say they grew up so fast.
I was like, which day did they just say, oh, baby's here, baby's here? Now, like, I see them and I'm like, how? No.
Yeah, so it pulls you in different directions. I think the switching cost too weighs on you. The switching cost of switching between roles and responsibilities, which women tend to have to bear that burden more. A lot more
it's
than
just a
men.
hard reality.
Yeah, and that switching cost itself is expensive. So when you're constantly switching your mind from my children, my husband, this business, this, and then back and back again, that does something to your brain. So it's not easy. And I'd say the mind is like an elastic. It's like a rubber band. The more you have to take on, the more it stretches and stretches. And then if you now remove something,
you bounce back.
Yeah, but it's already...
The capacity has increased.
Yeah. Do you understand? Yeah. So your capacity will increase. God doesn't give you more than you can handle. So they say. So your capacity just keeps increasing. And you see that you can take on more. And by the grace of God, you just keep moving.
But they're like systems, routines, support. Like, is there anything that okay, particularly I try to do this between this and like a routine or support system?
Mentors. That one I've had to really... I'm not really a mentor person, In the past, I was like, okay, let me do your thing, let me do my thing. I'm not somebody that listens to motivational speakers or searches for... I'm just not that kind of person. But recently, I felt like, some of these challenges, I need to go to someone who knows it, understands it, and has faced it. So I actively started seeking out, some older, wiser women within my own... And I would go to them and be like, look, man, how did you... The world, is this what you people have been going through? You don't talk. You smile. And that helps me. It helps me fill my cup. So because days when I'm running on E, I've given everything I've got. I'm like literally just hanging on a thread. And then I go and just sit down with
And
Auntie, what's going on? And then she tells me, bye. This is how we do it. This is what's going on. You know. And I feel like, okay, if it's been done before and she's okay, this is how she fixed it. It can be done. I can live another day. So I'd say mentors. There was a mentor of mine that really helped me break it down. She was like, Olamidun, all these things that you're trying to do. I don't know if you speak Yoruba, but you come here, like, you have to be careful. She was like, look, in my days when I was this young and this active in my career, I couldn't take my kids to school every day, and it just had to be okay. I couldn't do their lunches, I couldn't do their breakfast, I couldn't drive myself, I couldn't clean the house. There's certain things that you just have to let go of. You cannot do everything. But as you're letting go of it, build a structure. So don't let go of it and those things are not done. Build a structure of people that can do it and do it well. Going back to investing in people, you're not just investing in people in your workplace, but even at home. Your domestic environment. This goes to every mother, every wife or every homemaker, any woman in general. You're investing in people around your entire ecosystem, not just in your business. Right, so I care deeply about my domestic staff. They're invested in my life. I care about their life. What's going on? What can I do to improve? Because they are the ones holding my structure together. Do you get you know Elizabeth? Like, she's not there. Who pick the package?
Nobody. Because I know.
So you have to invest in your people. Let them grow with you. We're growing together. We're all on this journey together, and I'm so grateful for my family, for my structure, for the people within my environment that are helping me keep that structure together.
Holding that fort together. That's a very interesting question for me particularly, because I'm like, women in business. I don't want to delve into. Earlier this year, we had this event. It was called Bold Money Women. She's like brought women together. And one of our speakers, amazing person. I think you met her at GAS last year, Gertrude. I didn't know she was a mother. Like a mother of, was it 3 or 4? She said, I can't remember. 4 kids. Like, and she was a high flyer working in one of these major fintech, showed up at different activities. And one time during the event like this on the show, like we asked her a question. She broke down in tears on the stage. Like, and I'm like, this is such a sensitive conversation to have. But again, it's like also very real. Like it's life. People are going through these things every day, and they're finding support systems. They're finding ways. And for you, it's like investing in your people, both at work and at like in your domestic environment. So like zeroing a bit into investing in your people at work. Do you have a structured way that you do this, like trainings? Or is that just like maybe moments between you and I see this moments where you guys have like a retreat. I think I've seen it a couple of times. By the way, that your hiring strategy, I will steal it one day. It's so cute. But like, how do you do this training in your people, or like this investment? When you say invest in your people, especially now in the structured work setting, how do you go about it?
Yeah, it starts from the moment they're being recruited. So if you're recruiting with Sooyah Bistro, there's a process that we go through. We call our people Sooyah stars because we want to attract stars. To get in the door, you have to have something in you. You have to have something in you that keeps you ambitious, that keeps you grounded, that keeps you curious. So there's certain soft skills that we're looking for. There's certain hard skills that we're looking for. There's technical skills, but also soft skills. Once you're in the door, because we've attracted someone like that already, we have to keep them engaged. You can't attract a star and then your company is not star quality. They'll go down. Like they'll be out the door the next minute. So you have to keep the environment, the work environment, all those things that I just said, ambitious, curious, have ethical values, have moral values, be grounded and all of that. So, and you have to keep that strong within the core of the business. So my HR is always doing pulse checks. Our HR is always engaging our staff. There's an open door policy. We're doing performance improvements, performance evaluations, of course, the trainings. Certain people, we're even sending some people to do MBAs as well. So depending on your level, there's always something for you to be doing. And then the entrepreneurship culture. So if you feel like you're truly a part of something, and you're getting bonuses, you're being rewarded. So all your good behavior, all your good project, you finish off a new project and you get that nice bonus, boom. Or your branch hits your sales target, you get a nice bonus, boom. That excites you, it keeps you coming, and again, it's the kind of people that we attract. And we now create the kind of culture that will help them succeed. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Investing in your people, like something that we recently started talking about, even at Group Party, like mainly for our clients, where like some people, so founders, some of the founders I've talked to, they're like, you invest in them and then they leave. And one of my employees like, if you invest in them and then you don't invest in them and then they stay, like which one is worse?
Which one is worse? That's a really funny point. Which one is worse? That's so funny.
Like, so just choose your medicine. I mean, choose your poison. You don't invest in them, they stay.
I'm personally interested in people's personal development. I'm an educator. I love education. So look, if we invest in you and you don't stay, I'm happy that you're leaving here better than you came in. That's all I can wish for. You can't expect everybody to stay with you forever.
Absolutely.
Especially when you're hiring a lot of ambitious people. Eventually, they're going to grow up and do something different.
Yeah.
How many organizations have I left in my past? It's a natural progression of life and career. Yeah. They will leave.
Yeah.
The best thing is to leave them better off. And they, and then they become your champions.
Yeah.
They care and they
the people
love the
that you can say, oh, they were here.
Yeah.
Actually, they've been doing amazing things.
Yes.
It's great. So guys, invest in your people. And talking about investment, there's Growth Lab. No, that's not what Growth Lab is. We've been saying everything about Growth Lab. Growth Lab is like, it's the retreats that your people need. It's that training that's like breaking down your sales, your culture, breaking down your operations, how you scale. So it's this whole amazing package that we've cooked for you, right? So make sure that you sign up for Growth Lab and then invest in your people. According to our guest, she said you should invest in our people. So we're coming to like the end of this episode. I just have a few more questions, right? So what is something that you knew, or rather you wished that you knew before you started to scale, before you started to expand, like push branches, like something that you like, I wish I knew this before maybe like the first 5 branches, and you know it now, but you wish that you knew it earlier?
People, process, technology. So going back to the people, I think this is a recent learning of mine. Okay. It's not something that I've always realized. Earlier on, I felt, it's fast food. You tend to have higher attrition. It's revolving door just because
people just come and go.
Yeah, exactly. Just because of what kind of industry, the nature of the business. But it's so much more important, especially in this environment, to invest in your people, because you find that because of the level of education people receive in schools, it's not always up to par. So they come into your organization and you find the level of training and investing that you need to do with them is significantly more than some other parts of the world. The level of bridging their gap in understanding is high. So you do that, you've invested. You want them to stay. Because if they leave,
you're starting again.
You're starting all over again. And I heard this recently, which was like, for everybody that leaves your organization, you're losing a little bit of goodwill.
Ooh.
You're losing a little bit of magic, just a little bit. Especially when you're growing. Because early on, I would do interviews myself. Yeah. I'm discerning, I would pick people. They'll have FaceTime with me. Maybe madam is just there, kind of thing. But now, the bigger you are, the less you can do that. Yeah. So all those people that had touch points with me that I was able to cultivate, grow,
we need to pass on that. I feel you.
So now, if madam is all the way here at the top, and you are bringing in new people that have never met anybody high up, or just don't feel that sense of culture and energy, then they're really going to be the revolving.
So it starts to water down.
It starts to water down the brand, your people, the organization, and that's what happens to businesses when they're trying to scale. I realized that recently. I wish I knew it sooner. Earlier. Yeah. But now that I know, I hope we can
close that gap.
Yeah. Then process and technology generally.
How's technology working for Sooyah? Like, what are you how are you leveraging technology? Just curious.
In everything we do, I think having visibility into all the activities in the company at your fingertips is technology in its own. So you need to implement technology to be able to see that. So from supply chain to procurement to inventory, quality control, everything is, we have dashboards for everything. We have reporting for everything. So as much technology, so we are less focused on the individual's input, and the technology can do a lot of the work for us, save time. It's more trustworthy because it makes less errors, and then it's visible. You can then use the data to be able to make better decisions. Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense. So what is one? This is like my final question. Like, what is one thing that you'd like to tell founders out there, especially female founders, I'll chip that in, that are trying to like get to this level or even more? What is like your personal, this is like from Olamidun to them, right, that you'd like to share with them?
Something that really impacted me recently is it was actually Bukwa Washika that said it. So you can be very strong and still be feminine.
Wow.
Yeah, you can be strong but still be feminine. You don't have to be a man. You don't have to act like a man. You don't have to think like a man to be strong and be regarded in the workplace. So every woman out there who's doing a lot of things and, often gets frustrated because she feels like, she might not be as effective because she's a woman, or, there's some kind of prejudice towards women or whatnot. You don't have to now start behaving or acting or thinking like a man. You don't have to. There's power in femininity. There's power in who you are as an individual. So sometimes I've come across women who are high ranking, high achieving, but their attitude has become a bit tough.
Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah, kind of. And me as a person, individually, I love being a woman. I'm friendly. I want to be loving, nice, soft, and I want to keep that side of me. I don't want to become some kind of rugged, masculine kind. No, I don't want that. So, there is a way to do both. And so I would encourage everyone to keep their identity. As a woman, that's your power. That's your power. Keep it. Don't lose it. And keep strong.
Great. Amazing. Bonus question. What's next for Sooyah Bistro? What should we be expecting in the next 5 years?
Yeah. We're still very early on. In our journey. There's some accomplishments, but I still feel like we're very early on. We want to democratize African food worldwide. We want to make Suya the next jerk chicken, so to speak, worldwide. That's our mission, to be the best and the biggest Nigerian indigenous food brand that has scaled worldwide. So as we're scaling,
a powerful mission.
It is. It absolutely is. We've even launched pop-ups in the US. We did that last year. Fantastic outcomes, great track record, so it's giving me more motivation to continue. I don't want to bootstrap it. So this is gonna take on a different dynamic. I've bootstrapped enough in Nigeria. So now that we're ready to take on the US and other markets, now we're welcoming investors. We're having other kinds of conversations about how to finance this transaction and this deal. So that's the next big thing, is expansion globally. Starting with the US market. So look out for us.
Amazing. Such a wholesome conversation. I absolutely enjoyed it, guys. It's a wrap for episode 1 of the GAS Docuseries. I've had an amazing time chatting with Olamidun. So once again, GAS's Growth Africa Summit. This year we're having the 2nd edition on October 25th. Make sure you get your tickets now. All right. So before we leave, Olamidun, just anything to our viewers out there, general, hi, nice words.
Look at the camera.
You can look at the camera.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, for GAS Docuseries?
Not necessarily. Just your parting shot.
Oh, I don't know.
She's shy.
Thank you so much for having me. Kudos to everything you guys are doing. Thank you for featuring this story. I'm sure there's so many other founders where we can, learn from, understand the little things and the nuggets that make them who they are, make their businesses what they are today. I can't wait to see more episodes. And I can't wait to share, more founder stories, including mine. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Olamidun. If you want to get featured, do reach out to Growth Africa Summit and we're sure that we can arrange something for you. All right, that's it, everyone. Bye. See you in the next episode.